Well, hello and welcome aboard. We're just leaving San Diego now for Coronado Island and watching the first, second, and third mate all rolled into one take off the lines and get us ready to go, pull the loading ramp, and we're pulling out, starting to back out, and you can see it's a very nice day. See some of the other boats that are involved with the service there. And the first thing we see, of course, is the huge aircraft carrier Midway, which is also a museum that is parked in San Diego. It's a rather impressive sight. We were going to tour the boat, but the thing is we didn't come back the next day. Anyway, we're underway, heading across the bay. As we go across, you can see the skyline there. I must have about 500,000 pictures of this skyline because it's just very dramatic. And there you can see the whole aircraft carrier. As we head across, you see a sailboat, somebody out there having a good time on their sailboat. Not a lot of wind, but it's any day on the bay in a sailboat is great. And then there's a private yacht here. Don't know if they're very skilled mariners, but they've left their fenders out. That black thing hanging there is called a fender, and it's considered to be rather sophomoric for somebody to sail with that down. You want to always take the fenders in before you go out to sea. Anyway, there's a nice shot of the skyline again. Beautiful sky. No rain in sight, sadly. In the distance, you can see a little bit of smoke from the fires in Mexico. There's the mountains in the underneath the bridge there that you see. That's actually Mexican territory. And we're looking at the sailboats again. There's a sailboat, and I never pass up a chance to take a video or a picture of a sailboat. So he's cruising along. You can tell he doesn't have a lot of wind, and we're still watching our friend there with the fenders hanging out, and he's looking okay too. Crossing over to Coronado, the island that is a fixture in the San Diego area. It's got a military base there and has the Coronado Inn. I think it's called the Coronado Inn. I got to think about that for a minute. Anyway, it's the first place that electric lights were displayed west of the Mississippi. A little known fact, mostly useless. Oh, there's our buddy with his fenders hanging out there, those black things hanging down. really shows you up to be a novice sea person when you leave those hanging out. Kind of like training wheels, I guess. Anyway, here you can see the stadium there, and one of the stadiums, and the convention center, which is all new. When I last was in San Diego, none of that existed. Here's a little ferry boat that goes across, I think, from the marina to the island, and that's probably like about a 5-minute trip. So we're coming up to the island now, and there's a couple of docks here. The dock you see is not the dock we're going to. We went to another dock. But hey, any port in a storm. Of course, there's no storm here. You can see it's getting to be a little later in the afternoon now, but the place looks really good. Not a cloud in the sky. Some beautiful palm trees looking very dramatic and enticing. So we're pleased to be heading that way. And now we finally found the dock that's going to work for us. And the sun is glinting off my lens, but a rather dramatic picture. Oh, there's our lad down there getting everything ready. He's got us securely tied, puts the gangplank down, and the people start heading out to the island for probably some people are just going over there for dinner. Some are actually coming home from work. Found a pond with some money in it. Milena was thinking about wading into the pond and getting the money, but we decided against that. They do have some nice beaches here, and you can sit on the beach or go swimming, and you can look over at San Diego, see some more boats out there. Of course, San Diego Bay is quite a interesting place to sail. There's a lot of boats to sail out there. It's not as nice as San Francisco Bay, but it is nice. We saw some flowers and what looked like something that fell off a passing spaceship from the planet Mongo. Again, I caught a nice view of the city with the jet coming in. All the jets that come into the airport actually come right over the city. Here's a view underneath the Coronado Bridge, and you can see the smoke from the fires over on the other side of the border there in Mexico. A lot of birds too. Here's a lovely shot I took. This is a still picture, and here's the video of the sky turning some pastel colors. Beautiful colors, very dramatic. And the city starts to transform. That beautiful skyline once again is now starting to transform into the nighttime, and we anticipate seeing the lights coming on as it does get a little darker. Some beautiful buildings. Most of those buildings were not there when I was here last time. And here's looks like a private boat, but it could be a commercial boat. A lot of people on this nice boat, whatever it is. A helicopter going overhead. I have the sound shut off here so you didn't hear the sound, and it morphed into the moon. So here's a sliver of the moon, and now you can see the lights are coming on because it is getting to be evening in the city. Well, this is not the city. This is the island. It is a little city there, but this is, you can see some restaurants and the kind of touristy area there. But we're on the boat now. We're getting ready to go back, and it's starting to definitely get darker out. Got one last shot of the island with the moon there, and we're looking back over at the city now where the lights have turned on, and the planes are still coming down the final approach across the top of the city there. Beautiful lights. I mean, it's a very dramatic. I love those green lights. I don't know what they are. Those green circles of light are on some building there, and I just, for the life of me, I don't know which one it is. But it was very dramatic. Very few boats on the bay, but it looks really nice. And there's kind of the sunset through the smog, or not the smog, but the actual smoke of the fires over in Mexico. Another private boat just zipping across the bay. And there's some boats, a couple boats that are guarding the active aircraft carrier over on the island, and I fuzzed out the lens so that they wouldn't be mad at me for taking their picture. They all had guns. Nah, I made that up. They did have guns, but my autofocus just didn't focus on them. Anyway, we're back taking a look at the Midway now from across the bay, and I'm just zooming in a little bit on it so you can see that's the actual Midway aircraft carrier, famous for, I guess, just being an aircraft carrier and being very big. It's a museum now, so it doesn't go anywhere. You can go and tour it for the day. We were going to go tour it. We were going to come back the next day and tour it, but it was like 100 degrees out, so we decided that we were just going to hang out and hide in the house. But anyway, there you can see the Midway, aircraft carrier number 41. To Navy fans, that's quite a, they all know the numbers of the ships and the aircraft carriers. There's the moon. I decided I'd see if I could zoom in on it. I'm standing on a boat, hand holding a camera, and I was able to kind of hold the camera still for a while, but then all of a sudden, whoop, there it went. had a wave, just knocked me off balance. Well, this is about the end of it here. This is one of the coaster trains that they have, one of the three types of trains that run up and down the coast. And that's it for this video. And what happens next here is I put in some photos of the Midway that I took during the day, and you can see the size of it. It's a little bit bigger there. A lot of planes. I got up pretty close to it there. It's just immense. These pictures don't really do it justice. You have to kind of stand next to it to get the size. Everything is just so big, and even this statue, these people are huge. This statue is very tall, and there's a guy standing underneath it. You can see him there, and that's all I got for you, so I hope you liked it.